My husband said, "Don't go to that party." I went anyway, and he walked in as my lover grabbed me. My lover snorted and said, "What's he gonna do about it?" My husband put him through a table, took a sip of his drink, and walked out. When I got home, the house was empty, and so was my wallet. I should have listened. I really should have listened. But I didn't. And now I was standing in the middle of a stranger's massive living room, wearing a dress that suddenly felt too tight, holding a glass of cheap white wine I no longer wanted, with my lover's hand wrapped around my waist, while my husband stood 5 feet away, watching. The music was too loud. The people around us were laughing, drinking, talking, oblivious to the fact that everything in my life was about to change. The house smelled like expensive cologne, spilled alcohol, and something else, something bitter, something sharp. I could feel my heart pounding in my ears. My husband's face was unreadable, his eyes locked onto me, then on Jordan, then back to me. And then Jordan snorted. He squeezed my waist like he had a point to prove, like he wasn't standing in front of a man who had spent the last 10 years making sure I never had to worry about anything. "What's he gonna do about it?" Jordan said, grinning. I didn't even have time to process what happened next. 1 second, Jordan was standing next to me, smug as ever, his fingers still digging into my hip. The next second, Adam moved. He wasn't loud, he wasn't wild, he wasn't screaming. He just moved. Fast, a blur of muscle and precision. He grabbed Jordan by the collar of his stupid designer shirt and yanked him forward with so much force that I barely had time to react before Jordan's entire body went flying backward. He crashed through the glass coffee table behind him, the shattering sound ripping through the music, through the air, through me. The room tilted. I felt like I was outside of my body, floating, watching the scene unfold in slow motion. Jordan groaned, rolling onto his side, pieces of glass glittering around him. He reached for his ribs, his face twisted in shock and pain. He had no idea what just happened. Neither did I. Adam didn't say a word. He didn't curse. He didn't yell. He didn't even look at me. He just bent down, picked up Jordan's abandoned glass of whiskey from the counter, and took a slow sip. Then, as if nothing had happened, he turned around and walked out of the party. I wanted to follow him. My legs wouldn't move. People were staring now. The ones closest to us had gone quiet. A few whispered. Someone laughed nervously. A guy in the corner whistled low under his breath. Kayla, my best friend, my excuse for even coming to this party, was frozen across the room, her mouth slightly open. Jordan groaned again, louder this time. "Are you kidding me?" He coughed, wincing as he tried to sit up. "That guy's fucking crazy." He looked at me like I was supposed to agree, like I was supposed to find this funny. I felt sick. My skin burned. My hands shook. I had to get out of there. I barely remember the drive home. My fingers were numb on the steering wheel. My mind was racing, replaying the moment over and over again. The way Adam looked at me. The way he didn't look at me. The way he walked out without saying a single word. My hands were sweaty, slipping on the wheel. I wanted to throw up. The city lights blurred past me as I took the highway back to our apartment. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I was going to pass out. What had I done? What the hell had I done? I kept telling myself I'd get home, find Adam, explain, fix this. He would be mad, obviously, but we would talk. We would fight, we would cry. We would figure it out. He wouldn't leave. Not like that. But when I pulled up to our building, my stomach dropped. The front door to our apartment was wide open. My pulse skyrocketed. I ran inside, half expecting to find him waiting for me, arms crossed, jaw clenched, ready to unleash the rage I knew was coming. Instead, I found nothing. The living room was empty. The couch was pushed slightly out of place, like someone had bumped into it in a hurry. The coffee table was gone. My heart hammered in my chest as I turned toward the bedroom. The closet doors were wide open. Half of Adam's clothes were missing. His side of the dresser was empty. His watch, the one I bought him for our anniversary, was gone from the nightstand. My hands shook as I moved toward the bathroom. His toothbrush, his cologne, his razor, gone. I stumbled back into the hallway, gasping for air, trying to convince myself that I was imagining things, that this wasn't real. My phone buzzed in my pocket. My fingers fumbled as I yanked it out. A notification. Bank alert. $37,522 transferred from joint savings account. My stomach clenched so hard I thought I was going to be sick. I ran to the kitchen, my hands scrambling for my purse. I yanked my wallet open. My credit cards gone. My emergency cash gone. My engagement ring, the one I had taken off before I left, gone. A piece of paper sat on the counter. My breath hitched as I reached for it. Adam's handwriting. One single sentence. "You wanted excitement. Here you go." I sank into the chair, the world spinning around me. I dialed his number. It rang once. Twice. Then straight to voicemail. I tried again. Straight to voicemail. My vision blurred. I tried texting him. Where are you? Please come home. I'm sorry. Please. No response. I tried calling his mom. She didn't answer. His brother. Straight to voicemail. His best friend. Nothing. It was like he had disappeared off the face of the earth. I ran back to the bedroom, yanking open every drawer, every cabinet, searching for something, anything that would tell me where he went. But there was nothing. No note. No clue. Just emptiness. My breath came in shallow gasps. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be happening. I grabbed my phone and checked our other accounts. Checking account? 0. Retirement fund? Transferred. Even my personal savings account, where I had stashed my own extra money, was wiped clean. He took everything. I sank onto the bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to process. The night had started so differently. I was excited, reckless, feeling like a woman who had control over her life. And now? Now I was alone. Broke. Empty. And the worst part? I deserved it. I don't know how long I sat there. Minutes? Hours? My body felt disconnected, floating above everything, refusing to accept what had happened. My mouth was dry, my fingers ice cold. I couldn't believe it. Adam, my husband, my steady, predictable Adam, had emptied our accounts, packed his things, and vanished without a trace. And he had every right to, but there was something else. Something deeper. A gnawing feeling that crawled under my skin and wouldn't leave. This wasn't just anger. This wasn't just betrayal. This was planned. He had been ready for this. He had moved too fast, too cleanly. As if he knew something like this would happen. As if he had been waiting for it. I forced myself to stand, my legs shaking beneath me. I needed answers. I called Kayla. She picked up on the first ring. Jesus, Naomi, she said. What the hell happened? I swallowed. My throat felt like sandpaper. Did Adam say anything to you before he left? Left? What do you mean left? Her voice sharpened. He just walked out of the party. I figured he went home to cool off. He emptied our bank accounts, Kayla. He took everything and disappeared. Silence. Then, oh shit. I squeezed my eyes shut. Yeah. Do you think she hesitated? Do you think he's, like, gone? Like, for good? I had no idea. I don't know, I whispered. But I have to find him. Another pause. Then Kayla sighed. Naomi, do you really think that's a good idea? I didn't care if it was a good idea. I needed to understand. I needed to fix this. But before I could say another word, a sharp knock rattled my front door. I froze. My stomach clenched. Who the hell would be here at this hour? I tiptoed toward the door, my pulse hammering. Slowly, I peeked through the peephole. My blood turned to ice. 2 men. Dressed in dark suits. One tall and broad, the other wiry with sharp features. They didn't look like cops. They didn't look like delivery guys. They looked like trouble. My hands shook as I put the phone to my ear again. Kayla, I whispered. There are 2 guys at my door. What? They look dangerous. Kayla cursed under her breath. Don't open it. I had no plans to. But before I could move away, the taller one knocked again. Louder. More impatient. Then his voice came through the door, calm and deep. Naomi, we need to talk. My skin prickled. How did he know my name? I swallowed. My mouth was dry. Who are you? No answer. I backed away, my heart racing. My mind spun. Did Adam send them? Did Jordan? Was this about the fight? Then the wiry one spoke. We're looking for your husband. A sharp chill ran down my spine. I knew right then that whatever I thought this was about, it was something else entirely. And it was much, much worse. I stood there, frozen, staring at the door. My body was screaming at me to do something, run, hide, call the cops, but I couldn't move. My brain was stuck on one thought, looping over and over. They were looking for Adam. Not me. Him. But why? I forced myself to swallow the lump in my throat. He's not here, I called through the door. My voice came out steadier than I felt. The taller one let out a slow, almost disappointed sigh. We figured, he said. But we need to talk to you anyway. I didn't answer. The wiry one stepped closer, pressing his palm against the wood. Open the door, Naomi. My heart skipped. Hearing my name in that cold, clipped voice made my stomach twist. I gripped my phone tighter. If you don't leave, I'm calling the cops. Silence. Then a low chuckle. You think the cops can help you? The wiry one asked. You think they can help Adam? Something about the way he said my husband's name made my stomach churn. I stepped back. You have no idea what's going on, do you? The tall one asked. His tone wasn't mocking. If anything, it almost sounded patient. I shook my head, even though they couldn't see me. No. And I don't want to know. He's gone. I don't know where. That's all I can tell you. Another silence. Then the taller one sighed again. We're not here to hurt you. But we do need to find Adam. A sharp knock made me flinch. And soon. I didn't answer. They waited. Then, finally, I heard footsteps retreating. I stood there, my breath coming in shallow gasps, until I was sure they were gone. Then I collapsed onto the floor. My hands were shaking. My whole body was shaking. I called Kayla back. Naomi? What the hell is going on? I don't know, I whispered. But I think Adam's in some serious trouble. I needed to find out what. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. Instead, I did something I hadn't done in years. I went through Adam's things. The leftovers, anyway. Most of it was gone. But I still had his laptop. I wasn't good with tech, but Adam had never been the type to lock things up. I tried his usual password. No luck. Then another. Then another. My hands were shaking so badly I had to stop. Then I tried our anniversary. It worked. I let out a shaky breath as the screen unlocked. The first thing I checked was our bank account. But I already knew what I'd find: zero. So I kept digging. Emails. Bills. Old messages. Then, finally, something strange. A notification from a different bank. A bank I didn't recognize. A private account. I clicked. And my blood ran cold. $250,000. Just sitting there. I stared at the screen. My hands felt numb. I scrolled through the transaction history. The money hadn't been sitting there long. It had been transferred in chunks over the last year. Small, careful deposits. But from where? Then I saw it. The sender. And my stomach dropped. It was a name I didn't recognize. But I knew where it was from. The transactions all came from a business account. A shell company. One that Adam had apparently been dealing with behind my back. A company tied to organized crime. I slammed the laptop shut. My pulse was racing so fast I thought I might pass out. Adam was involved in something. Something dangerous. Something bad enough that men in suits were knocking on my door looking for him. Had he stolen from them? Had he owed them? Was he running? Is that why he left? My hands were slick with sweat. I needed to breathe. I needed to think. I tried calling him again. Straight to voicemail. I tried texting. Nothing. I needed more information. I grabbed the laptop again and reopened it. This time, I searched his emails. And that's when I found it. A message from just 2 days ago. From Adam. To someone else. Subject: it's happening. Be ready. Message: she doesn't know anything. Keep it that way. You know what to do. My heart stopped. He wasn't just running. He had planned this. He had planned everything. And he had planned it around me. I was never supposed to find out. I was never supposed to know. And now? Now I had no idea if I was in more danger than him. I stared at the email, my whole body ice cold. Adam hadn't just left me. He had used me. He had planned this down to the minute. Down to the last cent. And he had made sure that I knew nothing until it was too late. I was never supposed to see this. I was never supposed to know. But now I did. And now I had to decide what to do. I had two choices. I could pretend I never saw it. Pack up what little I had left, cut my losses, and let Adam disappear forever. Or I could find him first. And I needed to find him. Not just because of the money. Not just because of the men who came knocking. I needed to look him in the eye and ask him why. Why did he do this to me? Why did he betray me? And, most terrifying of all, what if I had never found out? What was he planning to do to me? I wasn't stupid. I knew I was in way over my head. But I also knew Adam better than anyone. Or at least, I thought I did. If he was on the run, he had a plan. Adam never did anything without a plan. And if he wanted to disappear, he would go somewhere familiar. Somewhere safe. I went through everything, his old emails, saved locations on his phone, old vacation plans we never took. I cross-checked them with any recent transactions in the secret account. And then I found it. A hotel reservation. Booked 3 days ago. Miami. It took everything I had left to get there. My bank account was empty. My credit cards were useless. The only thing I had was a little cash I had hidden in a kitchen drawer. It was barely enough for a last-minute flight and a cheap motel. But I made it. The second I landed, I went straight to the hotel. My hands were sweating as I walked through the lobby. The place wasn't fancy, but it wasn't a dump either. It was a place you'd go if you wanted to lay low, nice enough to blend in, forgettable enough to not attract attention. I gave the receptionist a bright, fake smile. I'm surprising my husband, I lied. Adam Moore, room 214. He's expecting me. She barely glanced at me before nodding. Elevators down the hall. I forced my legs to move. I rode the elevator up, my heart hammering so hard I thought I might pass out. What was I going to say? What was he going to say? I reached his door. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. A rustling noise. A pause. Then the door cracked open. And there he was. Adam. My husband. My liar. My betrayer. His eyes widened for half a second. Then his expression smoothed out, his face going blank. Like he had expected this. Like he had prepared for it. Naomi, he said calmly, as if I had just come home from work instead of tracking him across the country. I shoved past him and into the room before he could stop me. It was small. Clean. A half-packed suitcase sat by the bed. His laptop was open on the desk, an empty whiskey glass next to it. He had been planning to leave again. I turned to face him. Tell me the truth. He shut the door. Naomi, you tell me the truth. He exhaled through his nose. Then he rubbed his face, suddenly looking tired. You were never supposed to be part of this. That was not an answer. I stepped forward. What is this, Adam? The secret bank account? The money? The men who came to my door? What the hell did you do? His jaw tightened. I didn't do anything to you. But you did something. Silence. His fingers curled into fists. Then he turned away, staring out the window. Jordan wasn't the first, he said quietly. A chill ran down my spine. What? You think I didn't know? His voice was flat. You think I didn't see the signs? The late nights? The fake excuses? I knew for months, Naomi. My breath caught. My throat felt tight. Then why? Because I was already planning to leave, he said simply. Long before you started screwing around. It felt like I had been punched. He turned back to me. His expression was unreadable. You weren't my first betrayal, he said. And I wasn't yours. I staggered back. What does that mean? It means, he said, voice calm, that I knew this marriage was over a long time ago. And I was getting out. The only difference is, I was smart about it. The room was spinning. All this time. All the sneaking around. I thought I was the one who had a secret. I thought I was the one breaking us. But Adam had been playing a different game entirely. And I had walked right into it. You're lying, I whispered. He just looked at me. You stole our money, I accused. You set me up. Adam let out a small, humorless laugh. You think I need your money? He gestured toward his laptop. That account? That's my money. The money I made before I ever met you. The money I kept hidden, just in case I needed to disappear. I stared at him. Disappear from who? He didn't answer. But I saw it in his eyes. Whoever those men were, whoever sent them. Adam knew. And he wasn't scared. He was waiting. You need to leave, he said suddenly. I blinked. What? Go home, Naomi. Forget you ever saw me. Forget this ever happened. You think I can just go back after all this? You should. And then, he reached into his pocket. Pulled out a small, folded envelope. Held it out to me. Take it. I hesitated. What is it? Enough to get you started somewhere new. His eyes were unreadable. No strings. No tricks. I didn't move. His voice lowered. If you stay, Naomi, you're going to get hurt. Something in his tone made my skin crawl. You can still choose, he said. You can walk away. Right now. I looked at the envelope. I looked at his face. And I realized, this was it. This was the moment. The last time I would ever see my husband. The last time I would ever be his wife. I took the envelope. I turned around. And I walked out the door. I never saw Adam again. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he ran. Maybe they found him. Maybe he started over, just like I did. But I do know one thing. I spent years thinking I was the one pulling the strings. Turns out I was always the one being played.
الغنوة اللي جاية دي حضراتكم هقولوها معايا يعني انتوا رغبتكم بس انتوا اول ما هتسمعوها هتعرفوا انما انا عايز اقول لكم هي كلمات مين هي كلمات الدكتور مدحت العدل والحان خالد حماد وتوزيعه برضه هنغنيها اول ما تسمعوا الدخول هتغنوا معانا على طول